What's up, nail geeks? I am back with Hella Handmade Creations September 2021 polishes to show you guys. I have quite a few that are going to be offered in this month's shop, so let's dive right into the swatches. First up is Alchemy Lacquers, the Dragon Witch. This is described as a purple cream with lime green to blue magnetic shimmer. Price is $12.50 and there is a cap of 150 bottles. So this has a very dense but very smooth and opaque formula to it. The magnetic particles, in my opinion, are of the heavier type, so I'm going to suggest going in for maybe 10 seconds or more with your magnet just to ensure that those particles move, as they need just a touch of encouragement to get those pretty lines. This is really lovely. I'm digging the contrast between the purple and the green, really obvious. And per usual for my magnetic PSA, I'm going to remind you guys to always magnetize your glossy top coats. And full disclosure on this one, I also use the DRK Magic Magnetic top coat underneath my glossy top coat just to give me an extra layer of using that magnet, as again, the particles, in my opinion, are of the heavier type. And next is by Dany Vianna, Little Anya. This is described as a teal when hot to a blackened teal when cold, thermal with a mix of gold UCC flakes, metallic and iridescent flakes. Price is $13 and there's a cap of 100 bottles. So this is a very obvious type of thermal. I'm really loving the cold and warm state. It's really obvious in person. Ironically, I think this is the first time in a really long time I was running very cold while I was working on this. So I actually had to bust out my hairdryer to get the warm state to show you guys on my full hand shot here. This is a lovely jelly sort of formula. I think 2 to 3 coats is going to be perfect for opacity, and it does dry down semi-gloss, which again is very interesting for a thermal, and I think any top coat will be just fine. And next is Cupcake Polish Jolene. This is a plum purple jelly polish filled with blue to green iridescent shimmer and blue iridescent flakes. The price on this is $13 and there is no cap on it. So this is a jelly formula, in my opinion. Easy, smooth, opaque type of application on this one. For the most part, I think 2 coats is going to be perfect, unless maybe if you're rocking, say, stilettos or something, maybe you might need that 3rd coat. But even though this has a jelly formula to it, it deepened out really well on that 2nd coat, and I had no reason to really want to go up to a 3rd coat, especially because it's got a bit of a plumping factor to it, and I didn't want to overbuild it. This does dry down very flat, so I'm going to suggest a glossy top coat. And next is Different Dimension. It's a beautiful day to save lives. Described as a mulberry crelly loaded with green to gold color shifting aurora shimmer. I love these types of somewhat berry with a little bit of a dusky feel to it. Definitely got those fall vibes. And this has a wonderful, creamy, smooth formula. Very satisfying on those brush strokes. I think 2 coats is going to be perfect for most. I went in just a touch thinner on my 1st coat and then went in what I consider normal for myself on the 2nd. And as you can see, easy plumping action. The shimmer is quite strong in person, and it has a wonderful shift between this greenish sort of appearance over to a gold at angles. And next is DRK Nails I'd Die for Klaus. This is a 5D magnetic multi-chrome that shifts from turquoise to blue to pink to purple and mixed with an accent turquoise sparkles. Price is $14 and there's a cap of 120 bottles. So we have what I consider a very metallic but jelly-like formula. Honestly, I think this looks beautiful unmagnetized too. So, I mean, it's just so intense in terms of a shifty factor to it. Going in with each of my coats, I think you can get an idea of what it looks like unmagnetized, especially on the 2nd coat here. Again, very shifty formula and easy application. Now, the magnetic particles are of the medium type of weight, in my opinion, and especially given how intense these are. So this is another one I'm going to suggest going in for maybe 10 seconds longer on your magnet. And DRK is also offering up a secondary polish in her duo. This is I'm Not a Ghost, and is described as an effect topper bursting with aurora shimmer mixed with hollow micro flakes. This is $11.50 and there is a cap of 120 bottles. So just to be a little different, I wanted to show you guys what it would look like over a black and a blue cream, of course blue. So you can kind of get an idea. The shimmer is quite intense. It's this lovely red to green shift, and those little holographic flecks are very dainty in their sparkle. And next is Femme Fatale Fairy Floss Twirl. This is a topper filled with stunning sky blue matte glitters, red iridescent flakes, and blue reflective iridescent glitters. Price is $14 and there's a cap of 300 bottles. So in our PR information, it said that this is definitely going to be a topper. It's not going to be built up to full opacity at all. And after playing around with it, I totally agree with that. But I think this is definitely going to give you a good, decent mix on your nails with some careful placement if you use the brush. I kept my bottle upside down for a few minutes before applying, and I had really good luck getting the larger glitters out. But I can also see this one working really well with the sponging method. And next is Hearts and Promises Pumpkin Patch. This is a pumpkin cream base loaded with purple to gold to green UCC flakes and an orange sparkle shimmer. Price is $12.50 and there's a cap of 200 bottles. So this has what I consider a crelly formula to it. It does lean just a touch more on the jelly side. It's got a very squishy factor, but not overwhelming in that it feels like you're going to overbuild it after 2 coats. I think 3 light coats is perfect on it. And this is such a flattering type of pumpkin-y type of base. I think it does lean just the slightest bit with a peachy undertone against my skin tone. It dries down glossy, so I think any top coat's going to be perfectly fine with it. And Nail Artisan Cosmetics brings us Ruler of the Dark. This is a deep black base enriched with a sinister shimmer that shifts from red to gold and green, finished up with a wicked scattered hollow. This is $13.50 and there's a cap of 100 bottles. So this has a very dense formula to it. I'm really liking this. Of course, Nail Artisan Cosmetics theme is also has my heart in that it's Star Wars, but this is a lovely straight up holographic formula, lots and lots of rainbows, and the shimmer is quite strong in person, so you'll easily see this reddish cast in indoor lights and a greenish cast at angles. And Night Owl Lacquer brings us Shout. This is a black base with silver hollow micro flakes and red hollow micro glitters. Price is $12 and there is no cap. So this is what I'd consider a full coverage type of glittery sort of finish. Really sparkly in person, lots of bling, very vampy as well with that nice black base. This has a jelly somewhat formula to it, but it's very heavy and dense and easy to smooth over on your nails, as you can see from that first coat. I think for the most part, 2 coats is going to be perfect. Of course, if you go in really thin, or maybe if you have longer nails than what I have in the video, maybe a 3rd coat would be required, but totally going to be up to how you polish. This does dry down very flat and just the slightest bit thirsty, so I'm going to suggest a thicker sort of glossy top coat. And Pampered Polishes brings us Scare-a-dactyl. This is described as a butternut squash colored crelly with black and white micro glitter, charcoal flakes, and iridescent flakes. Price is $12.50 and there is no cap. So I just wanted to comment real quick that Pampered Polish's newest theme for her HHC series is so cute. It's her son actually helped create this one, so I'm totally digging that. Really adorable. So Scare-a-dactyl has a true crelly formula. It plumps up very easily, dries down glossy. I think any top coat's going to be perfect, and I think for the most part between 2 to 3 coats is going to be awesome. And Penelope Luz brings us Salsa. This is described as a light purple base with iridescent pigment that shifts from red to gold to green and some hollow pigment. Price is $13 and there's a cap of 200 bottles. So this has a lighter formula to it. I'm going to strongly recommend 3 coats on this, but it's so worth it for that lighter formula to allow the shimmer to just take over everything. This has a strong ethereal sort of feel with it, and when you build it up, the shimmer is very strong. Indoor lighting, you're going to see this reddish sort of peachy-like effect, and an easy shift over to gold, and at extreme angles there's an easy shift of green as well. If you like those really shifty sort of glowy shimmer polishes, 10 out of 10 going to recommend picking this one up. And Pretty Beautiful Unlimited brings us Gutterball. This is a purple to pink to gold multi-chrome with a mix of 4 crystal chameleon flakes, hollow micro glitters in violet, red, fuchsia, and jade. Price is $13 and there's a cap of $150. So we have what I consider a crelly sort of formula. This is very opaque and dense on application, but it does have that wonderful type of formula that stays where you put it, and I really appreciate the paddle brush on formulas like that. So for the most part, I think 2 coats is going to be perfect. Depending on your lighting, it's going to take on a pink or a purple shift. I easily saw the pink to purple dominant shift, and then there's gold at more extreme angles. This one dries down very flat, so I'm going to suggest a good glossy top coat. And Rogue Lacquer brings us Kiss the Girl. This is a sheer marine blue with red to copper to green shimmer and micro hollow flakes. This one is 13 and there is no cap. So again, we have this luscious type of shimmer finish. And again, if you like these shimmery sort of finishes, I'm going to be a dirty enabler and say you'll probably need both the Penelope Luz and the Rogue, because while the Penelope Luz has more of a lighter type of purple base color to it, this does have more of a blue lean to that base color. It does maybe appear a touch purple in some lighting situations, and that's just because it's so loaded with shimmer. I think 2 coats is perfect for this one, and finish off with a glossy top coat. Now, these and many more will be available for pre-order starting September 14th at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time through September 21st at 11:59 p.m. Hawaiian Time. I will link HHC's website below for you guys. The shop is currently up for preview, so you can see all of the goodies that are be available this month. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.